What's up, y'all? This is the E concert scale video for E flat instruments. So this is just alto and Bari sax. If you are not one of those two instruments, you are watching the wrong video. Cool. All right, let's start. Be sure to do this label up at the top so we make sure everybody knows which scale we're talking about. So E concert is the name of the scale. Then our first step, of course, is always to figure out what is your first note in an E concert scale. So we go down to our friend, the circle of fourths here in the middle, and find the E. There it is. And you always go 3 clicks counterclockwise. Counterclockwise is this direction. So I go 1, 2, 3. So your scale is either C sharp major or D flat major. We tend to like flats here in band world, so we're going to call this one D flat major for you. So bottom of the first page, I write my first note, D flat. Then we go, then we write letter names. So we go in alphabetical order. That was D, next is E, then F. And then there's no H, so I start over at A, B, C, and then you should get back to the letter you started with. Okay? Now I have to know which of these notes are flat. So I'm going to go back up to circle of fourths. This is the name of your scale. Here is D flat. Notice right here it says that as I'm going this way, I'm adding flats. So up at the top, this is 0 flats. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 flats right here. How do I know which flats they are? Again, remember Beadgcf is the order of flats. B-E-A-D-G-C-F. So I count 5 of those. B, E, A, D happens twice, and then G. B-E-A-D-G. So those are my 5 flats. Now I've got all the correct letter names written in these boxes. Next step, let's figure out key signature and our starting pitch. So draw a treble clef, big line, small loop, big loop, something like that. And then I'm going to write, again, in Beadgcf order here, B-E-A-D-G-C-F, I'm going to write the flats in the key signature. So I start with a B, then E, I'm moving to the right, then A, then D, then G. From left to right, that's the first 5 letters of Beadgcf. Yeah. And then starting pitch. For alto saxes, you're going to start here. And a Bari sax is going to start on low D flat. So you got to figure out those left-hand pinky keys. Okay? So this is the alto starting pitch. This is the Bari starting pitch. Okay, we've got starting pitch. Keep that starting pitch in mind when you do the next page. Okay. Next page, you need to throw in a fingering chart. So I recommend the ones on Schoology because we found pretty good ones. So I'm going to go in here, grab my saxophone fingering chart, do my trusty screenshot. Maybe someday I'll learn a better way to do that, but for now, that's how we're going to do. There's my saxophone chart. All right, I'm going to stretch it out so I can actually read it. And then again, so I'm using 2 things to make sure I do this fingering chart correctly. One is my starting pitch from this page. Make sure you start on the right note. And then the other thing is these letter names right here on this first page. That is, that'll walk me through the correct notes. So my starting pitch, if I were, let's say I'm the Bari sax player, we agree that that first note was this low D flat. So I find a D flat on the fingering chart, and it's the low D flat. There's a fingering. The next note, again, if I refer up here, I'm just following those letter names. So it was E flat, then it was F natural, not F flat. Then it was G flat, and there's 2 different fingerings there, so you gotta make sure you talk to band teacher about what the right one is. It's actually that one. Then A flat, then it was B flat, which is actually going to be that fingering, and then C natural, and then D flat at the top. So that was your Bari sax one. If I were an alto player, maybe I grabbed the blue highlighter. That was your first note. So you got to make sure you go in order from there. D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, like that. Okay, so make sure you're in the right octave. Okay, now you've got things highlighted on your fingering chart. You've got starting pitch and key signature. You've got letter names. You are ready to turn this thing in and practice like crazy. Good luck.